And we're live. Good. All right. So, welcome back. And tonight's topic is going to be about jealousy and dark feminine power, the spiritual power, your essence, your natural vibe, and why weak women can't stand you. Okay. As you go through life, especially if you are already a spiritualist type woman and you already know that you're kind of cut from a different cloth in a way. You know that you don't fit into society for one reason or another, whatever that may be. And then on top of that, you've got this other layer of your spiritual interests. You're on the fringe with that as well, and you're a bit against the grain, and you do things or research things at least, or know things that are not part of mainstream. Okay, you are either witchy, you are some kind of empathic, you are some kind of clairvoyant, clairaudient, whatever. You're one of those. You talk to the dead, something. You are on that vibe, okay? And you may not even tell most people that. Most of us don't tell most people that we do those things. I get on the internet and say it, but this is different. But you know what I mean? Like when you just meet people, you don't just come out and be like, I'm clairaudient. You know, like most people can't handle that. For the few that understand what that means anyway, most people like can't take it. So the issue is this: as you go through life and you know that you have that vibe about you, you will here and there run into women who are weak. Do you know what I mean? It's not necessarily their fault that they have a weakness with jealousy and stuff like that. It didn't start out being their fault. But let's be honest, now that we're all grown, they kind of need to deal with it instead of giving you shit because they wish they could do what you can do and they think they can't. Okay. You will run into women and you will have shit show battles with women who are deathly afraid of you. And their way of covering it up is going to be a couple of things. It could be a couple of things depending on their personality. The most common that I see is that number one, the most common is that they will do their best to be your bestie, and they will do their best to get in good with you and to make friends with you and be like the answer to your prayers in a way. They will find out what your desires are, and they'll find out what you're looking for in a friend, and they'll find out what you need and your emotional needs and stuff like that, and they'll play on it like a damn chessboard, and they will use it. Not necessarily against you, not until later anyway, but they will use it. And what's happening is there are weak women who do not know their power yet. They do not know their power yet. They may have been through transformation processes like Dark Night of the Soul, like what we were just talking about, or they may have been through things that should have sharpened them and should have polished them. And they may have been through things that should have, knocked their asses into gear. But if they're not mature enough, if they choose to not be mature enough to take the lessons for what they are and move on, then they're going to come out just as weak as they were before and confused from their dark night of the soul or whatever their transformational process was supposed to be. So a lot of these women will tell you awful stories about their life. And I believe it's things they really went through. I don't think they're lying about that part. They'll tell you awful stories about what they've been through. It's probably true. Because the ones that have done this with me, I believe their stories, and I think they really did go through that shit. But they'll tell you awful stuff they've been through, and you're just like, damn, And they they seem like they've grown, and they seem like they've matured from it. And after some time goes by, and you get to know them a little bit, that may or may not still look the same. But there will come a day when it all falls through like a wet floor. And what's happening is they can no longer maintain the facade of trying to be your friend and trying to be nice to you and trying to like you. They can't hang on to that any longer. They can't stand it. And they have run out of steam with trying to look like they're your fucking friend. Really, they're trying to get close to you so they can see what your deal is, so they can see how the fuck it is you do what you do. And they can't stand it that they have themselves under the impression that they can't get away with what you're doing. And you're not doing anything. You're not doing anything. It's just your natural vibe, really and truly. It's just your essence. It's just what you do. It's just how you are. You come off as very confident. You come off as very sure of yourself. You come off as very knowing how to pick yourself up if something happens, resourceful, resilient. You're savvy, you're beautiful, you're popular. People like you. People are drawn to you. You can make friends easily. You've got some power or something special about you that kind of cuts you from a different cloth. It separates you a bit from the crowd. And strong people will pick up on that and be like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, she's good at that. All right, cool. Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. And they'll be fine with it. And that'll be the end of it. But the weak people are going to see the same damn thing as the strong ones do. They're going to pick up on the same shit that you do, but they're going to look at it differently because their feelings are hurt because they think they can't do it. And weak people, and weak women especially, will get mad and say, that bitch, she thinks she's gonna get fucking popular. I don't fucking think so. Not without my motherfucking ass. I'm gonna make sure that she knows that she either needs me or can't do it without me, or I'm gonna lead her, or whatever. They're gonna do their best to turn it around and make it look like you need them. Really, you don't need fucking anybody. You were put on this planet perfectly made the way you are. You don't need There's something about you that needs to be fixed. You don't need somebody to jump into your life and say, hey, I'm going to be your mentor now because you clearly need it. So here's what we're going to do. You don't need that. That person's going to act like it though, but they're going to do it in a sly way because they're going to act like they're going to talk to you. Not, they might do the condescending stuff. They might. Some of them don't. Some of them are smart enough to not do the condescending thing, but some of them uh, don't know how to separate the two. So it just depends on what kind of personality you're dealing with. But the point is, they're gonna talk to you in a way that makes it look like they're above you, and that they know more than you, and that therefore you should be going to them for mentoring and information. And once that's established and you are under the impression that you need them, they're in control, and they also have whatever private information they want from you because they're going to make it look like they're there to save you, and they're going to make it look like they're there to help you and protect you and make sure everything goes right for you. And if you need anything, just let me know, and blah blah blah. And they're going to talk to you in a way that really has you thinking that you need them. But what's really wrong is they see what you're made of, and they can't stand that shit. And if you just let some time go by, if you just let some time go by, you will see that eventually the other shoe will drop, the final veil will drop, and it'll be right in front of you, plain as day, that this person has been jealous of you and is upset about your power that seems to come so naturally for you. And how could you, you bitch? Like that's what they're thinking. And they've all but said it to you. And you'll realize it in little things here and there after a certain point, because, like I say, the facade can only last for so long. Any facade only lasts for so long because it's fake. So there's going to come a point somewhere in the window of time that y'all know each other where they're going to start to slip just a little bit, maybe once or twice here and there. They're just going to slip. And one little thing will get out, and it's going to be something that makes you stop in your tracks and say, I wonder why she said that. And it's going to be something that is either taking the attention off of you, making it look like they thought of something before you thought of it, trying to take the credit for something at work, saying something about you that isn't true to somebody and it got back to you, or whatever. It's going to be something that makes you stop and think, what the hell? Why would she say that? I thought we were friends. That's so bizarre. But you'll be so brainwashed to think that she is your damn friend that you may let it go. The first time that I see stuff, or well, I did, it wouldn't work on me now, God knows, but years ago when I would see shit, I would be like, is this real? Did she really say that? Is she really doing that right now? And I would stop and wonder. I'd be like, no, I'm just losing my mind. Because women are taught to question themselves constantly and question their sanity constantly. So you're going to stop and think, okay, yeah, I'm probably just losing my mind. All right, fuck it. Let's go on with our day. And you'll drop it because you've been taught to do so. And that is a good way to ruin yourself by not listening to your instinct. So, what we're going to do instead is stop and look at anything that makes us stop in our tracks and pause and just say, is this really happening right now? If you have to ask yourself that, is this really real? You that's when you need to really step back and look. It is what it looks like. It is what it looks like. If someone is running their mouth about you and somebody comes back to you and says, hey, um, so and so's been saying some shit, and I just think you really need to consider, reconsider your connection with this person. That so and so's not your friend. And if it's someone you've been close to for a long time or long enough that you trust that person, and that person has really gained your trust in a lot of ways through just being so open and so friendly to you and so loving and so supportive and da 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 da. And then all of a sudden, after a certain point, you hear some awful story about something they've said about you that just sounds so uncharacteristic. And what the hell? Take it for what it is. Just accept it for what it is and accept that that person is not your fucking friend. So, weak women, especially, they don't know, they only have so much power that they'll allow themselves to have, I should say. They've got the same spiritual power anybody else could have because they're human beings who are alive in creation. So they've got the same, they have access to the same power the rest of us do. But weak women are afraid of that power because they've let fear run their life. So instead of tapping into it, they say, "Oh no, that's not good. That's not good." So they shut down their own power, and at the same time, they see you with your power being cool with it, and they're gonna say, "Oh, I'm gonna shut this bitch down. Fuck this whore," and uh, that's when they turn on you, and that's when they turn on you secretly, but publicly, they're the way they carry themselves around you and how they talk to you and stuff like that. They're gonna sound like they're your best fucking friend. And you got to be careful out there. It's a jungle. It's really a jungle. So uh, it's different dealing with weak men because weak men will let you know right away when they can't stand you. Do you know what I mean? Like men hate us outright, and they let us know from the get go. There is no wondering. Do you know what I mean? And but with women, women are very good at pretending. They've learned how to do that over time. They've learned how to manipulate for survival purposes because for so damn long that's what they've had to do. But we're in a day and age right now where we don't need to be doing that shit with each other. And when you when a weak person gets a hold of you and builds trust with you and gains your trust and gains access to you and learns things about you that other people don't know, and they have heart to heart talks with you and say, "Oh, it's okay, sweetie, I totally understand, this reminds me of a time when I blah blah blah, blah. So I know your pain, blah blah blah." If someone's trying too hard to get that close to you and is trying too hard to really like worship you or make it look like y'all are long lost sisters or some shit like that, just keep an eye on it. Sometimes it's genuine, sometimes it is. The real truth is you're not going to know for a while until something happens. So just be careful. And be careful about telling people stuff that might be a little bit incriminating, or whatever. Just watch that. If there's something that you really haven't told anybody or really don't like to tell people, don't tell the one person that you trust because you just don't know. You just don't know. Let some time go by. Usually, when I see the fake women like hating on me so damn bad, I give them about a year. It's usually about a year or less, and then finally, right around that year point or maybe 9 month point, is when they can't take it anymore, and the facade goes away, and now they're just going to start acting like they hate you, and they're going to pull on whatever they can to they're going to summon whatever they can to use as ammunition against you and say, well, you da 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 da, and they'll come up with some fucking bullshit ass story, and it'll be some shit that's not true, or they'll twist your words or whatever it is. I had a hiccup the other night at the goth club. I'm not gonna say who it was, but let me tell you, she was mad as hell. And this girl has never really spoken to me. She's never wanted to speak to me. And I when we go to these dance nights, her boyfriend has a habit of following me around. And he has always creeped me out. I've never trusted him. I tested some things in the beginning with him to see where he stood on some things and got my answers. So the impression that he was under about me was all for show. I didn't, he's thinking certain things about me from the beginning that are not true. We'll put it that way. He has no idea what's going on with me. Let's put it that way. And I think she just didn't like me from the beginning. And I always try to make friends with her, and I always try to smile at her and say nice things to her and tell her she looked good, stuff like that. And she just never wanted to fool with me. Wouldn't make eye contact with me, nothing. I thought, damn, whatever. And maybe she's shy. And after some time went by, I thought, no, this girl doesn't like me. And then finally, I buckled several nights ago at a golf night at Saturn, and her boyfriend had followed me around in there, and I'm sick of him. I'm sick of him. And finally, he got in front. He makes a habit of standing right in front of me, in front of the stage. I'm this far from the stage when I go in there and dance. I'm this fucking far from it because I like to see the DJs. And I just like to watch them like do shit, and the lights are up there and the screen's up there with the pictures on it and stuff. And I just want to be up front. I just like it. So when I'm up there like grooving, he'll come up there and get right the fuck in front of me, 2 feet of fucking space, and he's right there in front of me, blocking my view. And he's 6 feet tall, so it's like I can't see around him. And then he did it the other night, and I finally I snapped, and I shit you not, I took my fist for what it's worth, took my fist, and I just went, and I hit him right there, and he's kind of like slowly turned. Swear to God, this happened. He just kind of slowly turned and looked at me, and I said, "Stop following me, and stop blocking my view, and stop bumping into me." And I just couldn't. I just was out of patience. I was over it. And he just like, "Oh, okay, 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 okay." Like he was gonna, at least he was acting like he was gonna heed my word, but we'll see. But she overheard me cussing him out, and she turned around and just jumped down my throat. She did a nosedive down my throat. And I got to thinking, she cussed me out bad, but I wasn't mad at her. I didn't have anything against her, still don't. But yeah, she was furious. And the whole time she was cussing me, she was also walking away from me, which means she didn't really want to fight. Okay. She's been fantasizing about it, which is why she jumped like she did. But with each word that came out of her mouth, she got farther and farther away from me. So she's not ready to fight. We'll put it that way. Okay. Plain and simple. But I wasn't angry at her. And I said, "Look, I'm not mad at you. He's just being a dick. He always does this to me at these nights, at these goth nights. He follows me around. You don't understand." She goes, "Oh, no, I do fucking understand." I thought, well, no, you don't. Because you've only ever dated him and you don't know what you're doing. So actually, she's still young. And there was so much I could have said. I just watched her freak out, and I watched her walk away and whatever. I didn't care. I turned right around and just went back to grooving. I just didn't fucking care. I'm too old for that stuff. And she was angry, but she was not ready to fight, and I wasn't interested in fighting, so it fizzled out. But I got to think, I thought, she's been waiting a long time to do that. She's been waiting a long time for the opportunity to just take my head off. And she got to do it in front of the whole club. I don't give a fuck. I mean, it's whatever. None of those people are my fucking friends. My friend group is elsewhere. I just go there just to dance and listen to music and have a good time. But the rest is whatever. But she was mad, and I was like, she's really. I know enough about her to know that she is unhappy. And I thought about it, and then when I got home, I got on Instagram, and I sent her a voice recording message. It was about 10 seconds long. And no, I'm sorry, I didn't send her a voice. Did I? It was either a voice recording or I typed it. I can't remember. But it doesn't matter. What I said was, "I've been where you are. Your confidence is going to skyrocket the minute you get away from him. I left it at that. I left it at that. I'm not gonna lie, I also blocked her because I didn't want her arguing with me. Because she'll get confident with her thumbs and say whatever she wants. But in person, she didn't do that. In person, she walked away. You can ask everybody at the damn club; they all saw it. We were up front. But she was cussing me, but getting farther and farther away as she was cussing more. So she's not prepared for a fight. Let's just put it that way. So, but I thought I chose compassion. I said, you know what, I've been exactly where you are, and as soon as you get away from him, you can feel so much better about your fucking life. Period. And I just left it at that. It's whatever. Good luck to her. Good luck. Good luck. I just hope that you come to your senses and get out of there. I can't say that she was like jealous of me for a certain reason or another. She disliked me for whatever reason. I'll never know. But I'm telling you that and I ran into her, several times, and we met through the same people and everything. So, and I knew her, or at least knew of her, for at least a year or more. And that's how long it took for her to finally choose to jump on the opportunity to just, try to take. She tried to take my head off, bless her, but uh, she waited she's been waiting. She's been waiting a long time for that, and I don't give a shit. I just didn't want her boyfriend bothering the fucking me. I'm probably not going to go back anyway because my friend group is elsewhere. But you've been to one of those things. You've been to all of them, really. But um, I do have friends that go there who have get-togethers and shit outside of that are better anyway. We just go to each other's cribs, so they'll probably just do that from now on. But um, you will know when you meet a woman who just isn't ready for you, not ready to be part of your world, not ready to be not ready to vibe with you, not ready to understand you. They want to, and they want to be at your level, but they don't know how to get there, and their resentment for that is what leads them to act like maniacs. And it's also what leads them to try to be your friend to such an extent, and get so deep in your life and learn everything about you, because that's the only place where they can find control, is to just know shit about you, instead of just doing things on their own to up level themselves. They don't know how to do that, so they're just going to use you as a way to feel powerful. And then, but like I say, eventually that facade slips away, and they'll just argue with you at some point, and it'll be everything they can do to, like, pick things to point out and say, well, you da da da, da," and it'll just be some dumb shit. Just be some dumb shit that either doesn't matter or isn't true or isn't relevant. And I've had them tell me shit that wasn't even relevant. That's how there's something wrong, was when they start bringing up things from other parts of your history together, or other people or whatever, and they'll sprinkle in a little bit of untruth, and they'll say, well, I've got witnesses, blah 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 blah. Well, I've got several people who da 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 da. And I've heard that before. I've heard that I've got several people. You don't have several people. You told your one friend who fucking has the patience for you, is who you told. And that person probably has no idea what to say, so they just went with your side because they're afraid to get in the middle of it. And you'll hear all kinds of crazy stuff. But I'm telling you, when they're jealous of your power, your spiritual power, and your energy and your vibe and your essence and your personality and the influence that you have, you will finally get to a point, and this is the punchline of the entire thing, the entire video. This is it. You must come to a point where you accept your power. You must come to a point where you accept that you are this influential. You must accept that you are this important. Okay, you are. You are important. You are influential. People do notice you. People do like you. People do admire you. People do know who you are. People do want to know more about you. You're interesting. You're spiritually powerful. You're knowledgeable. You're cool to talk to. You're a good worker. You have good morals. You're fun. You make people laugh. You make people feel good when they're around you. It's a natural thing that happens You have all these powers around you and in you and about you. You have all these strengths and things that make you different, things that make you special, things that make you separate from the rest. And when someone weak sees that shit on their radar and they say, Pikachu, you little bitch, I choose you. And they just sink their teeth in because they don't know what else to do. They have no idea what to do with themselves. They're just going to try to do everything with you. And it's like having a controlling boyfriend who can't control his fucking self for 5 minutes, so he's just going to control you. It's just like that. And that's another thing that I need to say that y'all will notice. You'll definitely notice this. When you're dealing with a woman who is weak like that and unsure of herself and tries to act like she's better than everybody else and all the fucking rest of it, when you're dealing with that and things start to really go downhill and the truth finally gets revealed and now you're in the trenches with this bitch, you're gonna realize that dealing with her, mark me, dealing with the weak woman and her finally losing control of the facade is going to be just like dealing with a weak man. It's going to be just like dealing with a boyfriend. When you get through with it, when you get through it and it's over with and you're looking back on the aftermath like, damn, whatever was wrong with that bitch, and you analyze it a bit, you're going to realize it's just like dealing with a boyfriend. It's the same shite. It's all the same shit. The lies, the picking on stuff that's not relevant, the making up things, the pretending, the twisting your words, uh, insisting that you're doing something you're not, insisting on this or that, or insisting that they're right and you don't know what you're talking about. Moralize, you've been through that enough with boyfriends, and now you've got a woman doing it to you. What the hell? What is this? So, you'll just, it's just something that happens. It's just something that happens, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. You wouldn't be able to walk around with a sign that says, "If you're weak, don't fucking talk to me." I'd love to be able to do that. I swear to God, but I can't. No, none of us can do that. So, well, I suppose we could, but I don't know what the situation would be by the end of the day. I don't know how many battle scars I would come home with just fighting people off who are offended by it because they see themselves in what I've said. But the point is, you will run into that stuff, and the punchline is that you need to accept that because women, especially women who are in their dark feminine power, they there are parts of them. There's going to be parts of you that know that you're a little bit different and you're a little bit special and you're cut from a different cloth and you're I say better, but there's something about you. Okay. There's going to be parts of you that are aware of that there's something about you. As soon as you start to creep into that territory of realizing that and it's just accepting it, the other part of you from your childhood that's supposed to smother you is going to stop, is going to step up and say, you're not that big of a fucking deal. Why are you even saying that? Okay, stop. You're not a big deal. We need to figure out some other reason why this bitch is doing all this shit to you. And it's not anything else. It's because you're a big deal and that bitch is jealous. It's because you're a big deal. It's because you're doing shit she wishes she could do. And you have got to start accepting that you are that bitch. You are the baddie that everyone wishes they could be. There's something about you. You have a fearlessness about you. You get people's attention. You tell good stories. People trust you. Um, there's always good compliments circulating about you. People at work talking about how great you did something. The customers like you. They always come in asking for you. Whatever it is, whatever it is, and that is going to hurt some feelings. And you need to accept that you are, in fact, on a higher level. I don't want to say better, like better quality person, quote unquote. I don't want to do that. But there's something about you that is special, that makes you different, that makes you unusual, that makes you worthy of not just worthy of praise, but just worthy of the attention that you get. You deserve that. You're different. You have a magic about you that pulls people in. You have a magic about you that gets their attention, makes them say, I want to know more. you know, and most people are genuine enough to just appreciate it. And then you've got some highly intelligent people who are going to want to join forces with you so that y'all can both benefit from it and you can be in circles of people who are your caliber. And then you'll have the weak ones who are going to try to pretend to be your friend just to take you down, just to try to get information from you so they can take you down. And you need to accept that you are, in fact, a bad bitch and that some people are going to hate you for it. And it's too bad. You are still going to move on with your life because you're meant for bigger and better things. And that's the end of it. Ta da! Mystery solved. Okay, that's it. I'm going to leave it at that. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. And that's it for this video. I will catch you next time. I'll see you later. Bye bye.